Welcome to my channel. My name is Sammy, and let's read some children Christmas books. Let's go. Whatever. Okay, for today's Bookmas video, I'm going to read a few children Christmas books. I thought this would be great for families and kids because right now is a time where a lot of us are struggling. I know that Christmas this year is going to be smaller than normal, but I still want children out there to fall in love with reading and still experience it, even if you can't afford to actually buy the books. I highly suggest checking out your local library. So I thought this video, you could just set it up for your kid and they can listen to these books. Or you could sit down with your child and listen to. I even thought this could be for adults too, not just children. If you just want to go back to your childhood for a bit, I feel like the Christmas time is very nostalgic. So I think you could totally put this on and have it be playing in the background while you're decorating or making cookies. So good. And I personally, I love all books. I feel like no books have any age. Well, you can't be too old for a book. You can be too young. But yes, so I have 3 books from Libby I'm going to be reading. If you have not checked out Libby, can't get to the library, highly suggest. They have children's books available on Libby through your local library. Highly, highly recommend. And then I found one online for free. So this is A Charlie Brown's Christmas by Charles M. Schulz. Christmas time was here, the time when snowflakes fell softly and the sounds of carols rang through the air. It was a time filled with happiness, and for children everywhere, it was their favorite time of the year. But one little boy wasn't feeling very excited about Christmas. "I just don't understand Christmas," Charlie Brown said, as a light snow began to fall. "I might be getting presents, sending Christmas cards, and decorating trees, but I'm still not happy. I always end up feeling depressed." "You're the only person I know who can take a wonderful season like Christmas and turn it into a problem," Linus replied. "Lucy's right. Of all the Charlie Browns in the world, you're the Charlie Brownest." At the local skating pond, the boys found their friends playing a round of Crack the Whip. Snoopy grabbed Linus's blanket to drag him onto the ice, but he caught Charlie Brown in it and sent him flying into a snowbank. Charlie Brown wasn't surprised. Things like that always happened to him, and the holiday season when he didn't get cards and even his own dog ignored him only made it more obvious he needed someone to talk to. Lucy dashed over to her psychiatry booth to meet Charlie Brown. "May I help you?" she asked. "I am in sad shape," Charlie Brown replied with a sigh. "My trouble is Christmas. I just don't understand it. Instead of feeling happy, I feel so let down." Lucy knew just how to fix Charlie Brown's problem. "You need to get involved in a Christmas project," she declared. "How would you like to be the director of our Christmas play?" "Me? But I don't know anything about directing a Christmas play," Charlie Brown fretted. "Don't worry, I'll be there to help you," Lucy said. "I'll meet you at the auditorium." Just then Snoopy walked past, carrying a box filled with decorations. Charlie Brown followed Snoopy back to his doghouse. "What's going on here?" Charlie Brown asked. Snoopy handed him a flyer, and Charlie Brown read, "Find the true meaning of Christmas. Win money, money, money at the spectacular super colossal lights and display contest." "Oh no, my own dog has gone commercial. I can't stand it." Charlie Brown threw the flyer on the ground. On his way to the auditorium, he ran into his sister Sally. "I've been looking for you, big brother," she said sweetly. "Will you please write a letter to Santa for me?" Sally knew exactly what she wanted, but her list was so long she decided it would be easiest to ask for money. "How about 10s and 20s, she suggested. "10s and 20s? Oh, even my baby sister," Charlie Brown groaned. Surely Christmas was about more than money and presents. In the auditorium, the whole Peanut gang danced to a jazzy tune that Schroeder played on his piano. Charlie Brown walked onto the stage. "Let's get right down to work," he said. "It's important that you pay strict attention to the director." "Am I right?" I said. "Am I right?" But no one paid any attention to Charlie Brown. They had started dancing again. "Stop the music," Charlie Brown yelled. "We're going to do this play and we're going to do it right. Lucy, pass out the scripts and costumes." One by one, the kids found out their roles in the play. Frida would play the innkeeper's wife, Pigpen would play the innkeeper, Shermie would play the shepherd, and Snoopy would play all the animals in the script, and even some that weren't. "Let's rehearse a scene at the end," directed Charlie Brown. "Let's take it from the top. Places. Action." But once more, the kids started dancing and fooling around. Charlie Brown rolled his eyes. "Good grief." "That does it," Charlie Brown exclaimed. "If we're ever going to get this play off the ground, we've got to have some cooperation." "Let's face it," replied Lucy. "We all know that Christmas is a big commercial racket." "Well, this one play that's not going to be commercial," Charlie Brown insisted. "We need the proper mood. We need a Christmas tree." Lucy nodded excitedly. "A great big shiny aluminum Christmas tree." "That's it, Charlie Brown. You get the tree and I'll handle this crowd." "Okay, I'll take Linus with me. The rest of you practice your lines," Charlie Brown said firmly. "Get the biggest aluminum tree you can find, Charlie Brown," called Lucy. "Yeah, do something right for a change, Charlie Brown," added Violet as the boys walked into the cold winter night. They followed a set of gleaming spotlights to a Christmas tree lot. It was filled with shiny metal trees, polka-dotted trees, and trees in every color of the rainbow. Clank, clank, clank. Linus knocked on one of the metal trees. "Gee, do they still make wooden Christmas trees?" said Linus. He didn't see anything like that in the Christmas tree lot. Then Charlie Brown spotted a small, scraggly pine tree. It had a wooden trunk and soft green needles. "This little green one here seems to need a good home," he said excitedly. "I don't know, Charlie Brown," Linus said. "Remember what Lucy said? This doesn't seem to fit the modern spirit." "I don't care," Charlie Brown insisted. "We'll decorate it and it'll be just right for our play. Besides, I think it needs me." Soon Charlie Brown and Linus walked onto the stage. "We're back," Charlie Brown announced as he set the tree on top of Schroeder's piano. When the kids rushed over to see the tree, their mouths dropped in shock. The straggly little tree was not what they expected. "You're supposed to get a good tree. Can't you even tell a good tree from a poor tree?" Lucy asked. "You're hopeless, Charlie Brown," added Violet. Charlie Brown sighed. "I shouldn't have picked this little tree. Everything I do turns into a disaster. I guess I really don't know what Christmas is all about." "Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about?" he exclaimed. "Sure, Charlie Brown," replied Linus. "I can tell you what Christmas is all about." Linus crossed to the center of the stage. The lights dimmed, and a spotlight shone down on him. And there were shepherds in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. The angel came and said, "Fear not, for behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which will be to all people. For unto you is born this day a Saviour, which is Christ the Lord. Ye shall find the baby wrapped in a swaddling clothes, lying in a manger." And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly hosts, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, good will towards men." Everyone was silent when Linus finished. "That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown," he finally said. Charlie Brown picked up the tree and walked outside. He stared at the night sky. "Linus is right," he said. "I won't let all this commercialism ruin my Christmas. I'll take the little tree home and decorate it, and I'll show them it really will work out in our play." When he passed Snoopy's doghouse, Charlie Brown pulled a shiny red ornament off the doghouse and proudly hung it on the tree. But the tiny tree buckled under the weight of the ornament. A look of horror crossed Charlie Brown's face. "I've killed it! Oh, everything I touch gets ruined!" His head hung in defeat. Charlie Brown sadly walked away. Then the rest of the peanut gang arrived. "I never thought it was such a bad little tree," Linus said. He straightened the tree bent trunk and wrapped his blanket around its base. "It's not bad at all, really. It just needed a little love." Without speaking, the other kids took the lights and ornaments off Snoopy's doghouse and used them to decorate. Before their very eyes, it transformed into a beautiful Christmas tree. Charlie Brown walked up to the group and barely recognized the tree. "What's going on here?" he exclaimed. "Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown!" the kids exclaimed, and together gathered around the beautiful Christmas tree, they all began to sing. "Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinner reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the trumpets of the skies. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King." The end. So this is Santa Stops at Disneyland. In the land of sunny California, there is a magic kingdom called Disneyland. Every year, a very special guest visits and shares some holiday cheer. That guest is Kris Kringle himself, also known as Santa Claus. Santa never travels alone, so each year on Christmas Eve, the elves and reindeer also look forward to their annual trip to the happiest place on Earth. Some like to go on exciting rides at Disneyland. Others look forward to shopping for gifts. Most can't wait to eat all the yummy treats. That night, Santa and his helpers enjoy a little music by candlelight. Even though the day is through, their fun has just begun. Now they get to spread a little Christmas spirit at Disneyland. Santa starts just as the fireworks are finishing from high atop Sleeping Beauty Castle. He makes a little snowfall so that everyone can have a white Christmas. After the other guests have left for the night and the residents of Disneyland have gone to sleep, Santa and his helpers really get to work. They start at Storybook Land, leaving elf-sized decorations on all of the little houses and castles. In the icy caverns of the Matterhorn bobsled, Santa carefully places some presents for the abominable snowman under his Christmas star. Santa hops into an astrojet and rocks through Tomorrowland, dropping presents and decorations for all of the faraway inhabitants. Blitzen and Santa always have a fun time putting a very big Santa hat on It's a Small World clock tower. Stopping off in Frontierland, Santa finds a cactus to tune some lights on so that the prairie dogs and jackalopes have a little Christmas tree of their own. In New Orleans Square, Santa hides gifts for the pirates in a big, spooky cave. In the morning, the pirates will find a map leading to their buried presents. Then Santa delivers 999 presents to all the happy haunts at the Haunted Mansion. In Critter Country, Santa leaves a smackerel of honey for that silly old bear, Winnie the Pooh. Sailing on the Jungle Cruise, Santa gives gifts to every animal in the jungle. Some of them ask for the oddest things, but Santa is more than happy to oblige. It's not every day that a hippopotamus asks for a fruitcake. Next, Santa wishes a warm Mele Kalimaka to all the singing birds and flowers in Adventurers Land. In Mickey's Toontown, Santa leaves Chip and Dale plenty of nuts to last them into the new year. Finally, Santa stops at Mickey's house and leaves presents for Mickey and Pluto. Mickey will surely be grateful for all the gifts and decorations that Santa and his helpers left for everyone. Once their work is done at Disneyland, Santa and his friend continue on their magical journey. They travel around the world, making the rest of the planet as jolly as the happiest place on Earth. The end. This is May Your Life Be Deliciosa. Every year on Christmas Eve, my abuela Pina, mama, tia, sister, cousins and I gather in abuela's kitchen to make tamales. As un tamalada, a party in the kitchen, music playing, feet dancing, voices singing, storytelling. It's also a lot of work. Everyone has a job to do. My sister Pancha and I soak and clean the corn husks in warm water, making sure to remove the silk threads. My cousins chop onions and garlic, trying not to tear up. My tia roasts the chiles. Mama prepares the corn masa dough, mixing it with lard and the roasted chiles. And Abuela is in charge of cooking the meat filling, with its secret seasonings. Where is the recipe, I asked. Abuela laughs. It's in my heart, Rosie. I use mis ojos, my eyes, to measure, mis manos, my hands, to feel, mi boca, my mouth, to taste. My abuela gave it to me, and I'm giving it to you. My favorite part is when Abuela tells us how to make a tamale. We already know how. We do it every year. It's Abuela's stories we love to hear again and again. When it's time, I shout, Abuela Pina, cutanos por favor, and so she begins. You start with un hora, a corn husk. The warm water has made it softer and easier to work with. Abuela looks into my eyes and smiles, Rosie, mi nieta, may you always be flexible. Abuela takes the husk, the outer part of the tamale, and says, may you always have protection and security. She applies the dough to the husk, not too thick and not too thin. She implies la masa comes from corn, like a cornstalk. May you always stand tall and proud. Then Abuela adds a meat filling with roasted chiles. May you always have food to eat and spice to make things special. And then she adds on olive, placing it right at the heart of the tamale. May you have love and affection in your life always. Abuela carefully folds the tamale, bringing one side towards the center, then the other, before folding the bottom upwards. May you have lots and lots of hugs. She places the tamale in a large pot, one leaning upon the other. May you always have the support of family and community. Now it's my turn. With the barrel of wishes in my heart, I take my place in the kitchen, and shoulder to shoulder, we all make dozens and dozens of tamales. We soak the husk warm and soft. We spread the masa and sand up tall. We add the meat and hear our stomachs growl. We hide the olive and dream of love. We fold them snug like a abuela's hug. I don't need a recipe. I use my eyes to measure, my hands to feel, my mouth to taste. And then we wait for the tamales to steam, the delicious scent filling the air. Abuela reminds us all, may you always have patience with yourself and others. We groan. A few hours feels like a lifetime. But then it's time to eat. We carefully unwrap the tamales one by one. Deliciosa. May your life be delicious, Abuela sings. Every Christmas Eve we gather, year after year after year. Now I give to you what my abuela gave to me. You start with Unoa. The end. Now How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch who lived just north of Whoville did not. The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why, no one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve hating the Whos, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm-lighted windows below in their town, for he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a mistletoe wreath. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here. Then he growled with the Grinch finger nervously drumming. Let's find some way to stop Christmas from coming. For tomorrow he knew. All the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early. They rushed for their toys, and then, oh the noise, noise. That one thing he hated, the noise. Then the Who's young and old would sit down to a feast, and they feast, and they feast, and they feast, feast. They would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beef, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Whos would start singing. They sing and they sing and they sing. And the more the Grinch saw of this Who Christmas scene, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how? Then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do, the Grinch laughed in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and coat, and he chucked and chuckled, what a great Grinchy trick. With this coat and this hat, I look just like St. Nick. All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said. If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he called his dog Max, then he took some red thread and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. Then he loaded some bags in some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sled and he hitched up old Max. Then the Grinch said, "Giddy up," and the sleigh started down towards the home where the Whos lay a snooze in their town. All the winters were dark, quiet snow filled the air, all the Whos were all dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square, "This is stop number 1, the old Grinchy Claus hissed, as he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney a rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once for a moment or two, then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue. Where the little Who stockings all hung in a row, these stockings, he grinned, are the first thing to go. Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present: pop guns and bicycles, roller skate, drums, checkerboard tricycles, popcorn and plums. He stuffed them in the bag, and then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney. Then he slunk to the icebox, he took the Who's feast, he took the Who pudding, he took the roast beefs. He cleaned out the icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took their last can of Who hash! Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. And now, grinned the Grinch, I will stuff up the tree. And the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove, when he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast and saw a small Who, little Cindy Lou Who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by the tiny Who daughter, who got out of bed for a cup of cold water. She stared at the Grinch and said, Santa Claus, why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why? But you know that old Grinch was so smart and so slick, he thought of a lie and he thought it up quick. Why, my sweet little tot, the fake Santa Claus lied. There was a lie on the tree that wouldn't light on one side, so I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there and then I'll bring it back here. And his fib fooled the child, then he patted her head, and got her a drink and sent her to bed. And when Lindy Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Then the last thing he took was the log from their fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On the walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire. And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Then he did the same thing to the other Who houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's mouses. It was 1/4 past dawn, all the Who's still abed, all the Who's still asnore when he packed up his sled, packed up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags, and the tinsel, the trimming and trappings. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it. Pooh-pooh to the Who's, he was grinchilishly humming. They'll find out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up, I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two, then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry boo-hoo. That's a noise, grinned the Grinch, that I simply must hear. So he paused, and the Grinch put his hand to his ear, and he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, it sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry, very. He stared at Whoville, the Grinch popped his eyes, and he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming, it came. Somehow or other, it came just the same. And the Grinch with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow stood puzzling and puzzling. How could it be so? It came without ribbons, it came without tags, it came without packages, boxes, or bags. And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzle was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light, and he brought back the toys and the food for the feast. And he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast. The end. And okay, so that's all the books I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. It means so much to me. And happy Bookmas. Bye!